Welcome to the Rick Willis Real Estate Show. We are live, we're on the air, and it's a pleasure to have you with me today. Well, how about this weather? This is why we chose Charleston to live, isn't it? I'm from Maryland originally, and I've traveled most of the United States in business, and when I decided that I was going to relocate from the state of Maryland, I made a stop in Virginia Beach, checked out some places in North Carolina, had the intention of going as far as Jacksonville, Florida to check it out. But I got to Mount Pleasant, and you know the old story, too hot, too cold, just right. Well, so here I landed, and here I am, and I can't think of anywhere else in the United States that I would rather live than right here. So, welcome. I want to remind all of you listening that this is a live show. And when I do the live show, it is a call-in talk radio show, which means that I show up with an agenda on a yellow pad, and my preference is that you call me with a question. You can call me right here, right now, with any question of any kind about buying any kind of property, commercial, residential, vacant land, second home, investment property, selling any type of property also, or financing any type of property. So if you are listening and you're in the market to buy, in the market to sell, or just considering it, or just have a curiosity question, call me. The number here, 843-721-8255, 843-721-8255. Well, I'm going to warn you in advance. I've had a cold here for the last few days. I'm not over it yet. So if you hear a long pause, that means I might be pushing a cough button. Or if you hear some other noises, you'll understand why. But I'd rather do the show and have you know that in advance than put in a tape from a previous show. Well, I feel like I keep opening each and every week with the same remarks, and that is that the housing market here is very boring, meaning it's very good. I mean, very, very, very good. And, you know, as good as it is here, believe it or not, there's other places around the country that are even better, meaning that the amount of time that the average property is on the market here is still longer than other places around the country, but it's commonplace almost throughout the United States now to have multiple offers coming in on properties, that if properties are on the market for any length of time at all and they're priced right or close to right, more than one person is interested in the same property. So, you know, if you're in the market to buy, let me give you a few tips and pointers and ideas. And by the way, just sometimes I forget to tell you who I am. You know, I do this show an hour a week, and when I'm not here in the studio, I help people buy, sell, and invest in real estate. So this is what I do an hour a week, and the other 6 or 7 days of the week, I'm out in the field and listing property, helping buyers buy and invest in all different kind of property. So hear me through a filter of I do this and I've done this for 40 years. So when the market's active, some tips, pointers, and ideas. Number one, you must, keyword must, be on an automated email database list where every day, keyword every day, you're receiving updated listings from any and every real estate company and individual real estate agent in the greater Charleston area. Now, some people go to Zillow, some people go to Realtor.com, some people go to Trulia, and there's a gazillion other places you can go. But let me give you a tip and a pointer and an idea here. There's only one website you need to go to, and that website is rickwillis.com. You see, when you're looking for a property, you want to go always to what I call first generation information. And the Realtor.coms, the Zillows, the Trulias, and all kinds of other websites are getting their information second, third, fourth, fifth hand, meaning it's either not as responsive, not as quick, not as accurate, or not as complete as it would be when it comes directly from first generation local Charleston area. So again, I want to repeat, if you're in the market or thinking of getting into the market, or if you're thinking of getting in the market 3, 4, 5, 6 months from now, why not right now start receiving listings on a daily basis that match your criteria? Now, you can go to my website, rickwillis.com, and sign up for what I call you can do it yourself. You don't need me or any other person. You can enter your criteria and receive listings. However, the way you're going to get the most accurate information sent to you on a daily basis of properties that can match your criteria is to call me and have a conversation with me. And if you and I have a 10 to 15 minute conversation, no obligation, of course, if we have a 10 to 15 minute conversation by phone, can't be text, can't be email, by phone, I'll ask you some questions, and here's what I promise you. Whatever criteria you think you want sent to you, I will modify it for you. And I'll modify it for you so that it works better than if you do it by yourself. Let me give you an example. Somebody recently said, I want a 4-bedroom property. So they put into the search criteria on their own 4 bedrooms. Well, we had a phone conversation and I said to them, could a 3-bedroom property that has what is called a frog finished room over the garage, that basically is a bedroom but not called a bedroom in all listings, could that work for you in lieu of a 4-bedroom? Answer, yes. Okay, so I made that change in the database on their behalf. Somebody else said to me, well, I want a half acre of land. I don't want anything small. I don't want a postage size lot. I want a half acre. Well, yes, you could go in the database, put down 0.5, half an acre minimum. But I said to the person who I was talking to, I said, well, are you telling me that 0.49 acres wouldn't work? 0.48, 0.47? You see, computers don't think. And sometimes a property automatically has more space between houses or has open space behind it. And, you're trying to over-restrict the listings that you get sent. And somebody else would say to me, well, I want to make sure I have a house that's built in the last 5 years. I don't want things that, are going to need a whole lot of attention. And I said, well, quite frankly, sometimes if you get into homes that are more than 20, 25, 30 years, they've been completely redone. We're talking like new roof, new plumbing, new wiring, new flooring, new heating, new air conditioning, new. So really and truly, if it's completely redone and it doesn't need any work, could that work in lieu of a house that's simply built in the last 5 years? And the answer was, yeah, of course. So now I could give you dozens of other examples like that, but what I'm trying to say is if you're in the market to buy, there's some tips and ideas that you've got to know about to make sure you're the first one in the door. That's the secret. And I'm encouraging you and inviting you not only to visit my website, rickwillis.com, but to call me, have a conversation with me so that I can help set you up with the proper search criteria. And again, I only gave you a couple of examples, but there's no obligation, and I'll help you find the better property for yourself if you allow me to support you. See, people are afraid of salespeople. I'll do it myself. This is the internet. Yeah, I understand, but again, only from experience, I can help you, and if you let me help you, I'll help you make a better decision, and you'll get exposed to perhaps the ideal and the perfect house before somebody else does. I want you to call me, Rick Willis, 843-327-3017, or email me, rick@rickwillis.com, rick@rickwillis.com, and we'll have a conversation to get you hooked up and lined up with a daily database of properties being sent to you, and obviously, of course, you can call me for anything to do with real estate. But right here, right now, it's that magical time. You're listening to 94.3 WSC. We'll be right back.